Hello and grüß Gott. On this video I'm going to be replacing a tank lever on a 12-year-old vintage Mansfield toilet. The original toilet came with a plastic lever, and this has a little bit different flush mechanism, which I'll show you inside, but this video should apply to really any modern toilet. So the problem is this plastic lever is starting to come apart inside. I can feel that it's getting weaker and weaker. And we have several of these toilets in this house, and all of them have had to be replaced with a nice metal levered type flush handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top off and show you what's inside. Okay, if you look inside the toilet here, here's where the flush mechanism goes. And on a Mansfield, it pulls up a little item that allows it to flush. It doesn't have a flapper valve like the traditional toilets. You'll see a lot of mold in here. This is totally okay and normal, nothing harmful about it. You definitely don't want to use those Clorox tablets that you drop in the toilets, because as I found out on some of my other houses, they eat up all the rubber inside here, and then you end up with a junk toilet and have to rebuild the whole toilet. So a little bit of mold in there is okay, because all it does is flushes waste down the toilet. And so what I'm going to do first of all is take the backing nut loose that goes behind this handle, and it's reverse threaded. So instead of left to loosen, it's right to loosen. So that's the big thing that's different about it and anything else. So I'm going to get it loose and we'll pull this mechanism out. Okay, here's a comparison of the new versus old. This new one I got at Ace Hardware. It's very nice. I use them on a lot of toilets. And the old one starting to get some stress fractures and cracks along this plastic, and hence the reason it breaks. Now for us to install this new one, it's pretty straightforward. All we're going to do is take the backing nut off, slip it into the mechanism that pulls up to allow the water to flow, and then snug it up gently. And again, it's going to be left to tighten instead of right to tighten. So now if you have the old type chain with a flapper valve type toilet, the chain can attach to any of these three positions, and you want to attach it to the position that's most directly above the flapper valve. And you also want to reduce the chain length to the point that it only has a little bit of play when this mechanism is at its normal operating area. And sometimes you have to bend them in order to have the chain part right over the flapper valve. Otherwise it tries to pull the flapper valve sideways, and it may or may not close properly. So I'm going to go ahead and install this, and we'll come back and check it out. A couple things I wanted to make mention of is when you install this, most of these toilets have a standard square cutout in them, like that. So again, you're going to turn left to tighten on this. So I'm going to take a wrench here and just barely snug it. You don't want to make it too tight, else you'll break the ceramic. So I'm going to barely snug it here, so it's just in there enough to hold it, like that. And now it should flush fine. Of course, it's sprayed a little bit because there's a gasket that goes here that's worn out. I'll have to probably go in and replace that. And also on this Mansfield type flapper valve, it does flap up, spray water up against the top. So that's really all there is to this video. Thanks for watching. Tschüss.